It's 2025. I cannot believe that it is 2025. It seems crazy to me that we're in a new year, and that means more bookish goals, more bookish like content, reads. Hopefully I'll hit 1 year of uploading on this channel, and I'll have hit 1 year of uploading onto Bookstagram, which is just incredible. I've had a very up and down 2024. I've hit kind of lots of different life goals. I've left my old job, which I loved, but I was starting to really like struggle with it. I've moved to a completely different city. I've had friends and family in my life that I absolutely love and adore, and a few people have obviously left my life as well, and it's just, yeah, you always see like different seasons have different people in them, and I feel like this year is really a testament to that. And so to start off the new year, I need to do a reset. Now, I don't think this is the first video you'll be seeing this year. However, for me currently right now, it is the 31st of December in 2024. And I have started kind of getting things ready for January/2025 in general. So I'm gonna have to do this in a bit of like a higgledy-piggledy way, because I've already started, so I've already filmed some clips for this. But just to let you know, like in this video, you're gonna see getting ready for my Goodreads ready for 2025. A little bit of a book haul across like my December and what things I've been up to, updating some of my like spinner wheels that I'll use. I've downloaded a tracker, so I'm currently reading After Ever Happy. So hopefully within this video we'll be adding it onto my tracker, so you'll see what I'm doing to track my books this year. I'll be updating my TBR cart back at university, so yeah, stay tuned for lots and lots and lots of fun things in this video, and also just for 2025. So I guess the first important thing for 2025 is thinking about like my reading goals and what my challenge is going to be, because if you use Goodreads, you know that Goodreads always asks you to put like a numerical number on your challenge and what you want that to be. So I'm gonna have a think about my reading goals, and then I will get back to you. Seen, I've just literally quickly written some down. I had a few of these in mind anyway, so it's not taking me long to think of these, and I think I really enjoy reading. I'm currently just doing my masters, so my job's not that demanding, so for the first like half of the year my life is relatively like pretty slow paced, and then come like June, July, August, September time, I'm hopefully will have a new job. Where that's going to be, no one knows, like not even me. All my friends and family are kind of like asking me, and I don't know. So where my new job's going to be, don't know. What I'm going to be doing, also not too sure. It will be in the teaching area in some way, but I'm not too sure. So I feel like these goals are very ambitious but yet achievable. So I have 5 goals. I've literally just written them down. So I want to get my physical TBR to below 50. Now, let me see where we are at currently. Because, like I say, for me, I'm filming this in retrospect, so I have already updated my Goodreads. So my physical TBR currently is 78 books. So I think getting it below 50 will actually be really, really manageable. This year I did manage to get it just below 50, which I feel like A, looks really nice on the TBR cart, and B, just doesn't feel as overwhelming. Ideally, I want to get it down, like right down to maybe even below 30, but I do feel like below 50 is really, really achievable. I've got my second goal is kind of my numerical goal of reading 100 books. Now, this year I've managed to read 83 books. So adding on an extra 17 sounds like a lot. However, I did start off this year not really being like a dedicated reader. I would read, but I wouldn't always have like a book with me, whereas now I'm like always got a book with me. I've got audiobooks on the go, and I've just found like my niche, and I found my enjoyment in life is just to read. And so I think the 100 books is going to be doable. I really hope so. And if that means that like at the end of the year you've got to cram a bit, I've got to cram a bit more in, then that will be fine. I have also updated my series tracker, and I am now in the middle, or haven't started, which I've owned books of 40 series. So I would really like to get that down to below 10. I currently have 8 series, which I only have 1 book left to read to either complete the series or get up to date. And so I do think this is doable. I think it's quite manageable. Actually just looking at it as well, there's 9 series which I've only got 1 book left to kind of get the series down to being either caught up or completed. So I think that's manageable to get it down below 10. It's going to just be, I feel like this is going to be my real focus of this year. My next video you'll see is my 25 in 2025, and you'll see from that video I've got a lot of series on there where I've put like multiple of the series on to try and get through them. I'm also going to make my finishing series a priority and try and have at least 1 upload a month, which within that I read 3 books anyway, so that's kind of another 3 books knocked off. So within 3 months, if I just did like for the next 3 months, just did the books that I've only got, or the series that I've only got 1 book left in, I could get those 9 taken off anyway. So I do feel like it's really doable. You'll see from my haul in a bit that I actually got the Natural series for Christmas, and that's the series that I'm really, really excited for. And I haven't started yet, and so I think that for me will be like a series that I'll binge read. So I'm hoping I'll find some of those series that I just love and like continue to carry on with those. The next goal is to consistently have my YouTube uploads. As you would have heard, I do have a kind of video upload schedule. My aim is to do once a week on a Sunday, so 4 o'clock on a Sunday is my aim. I do have, and you would have seen that actually like this in January I've got a couple of extra ones because I wanted to get my 2024 reading wrap up uploaded and my 25 in 2025, and I was just finding in terms of with like wrap up videos of like the previous months and finishing series 2 videos and TBRs, I just wasn't having enough like Sundays. So there might be sometimes where I've got a really good idea for a video, or videos which maybe don't require reading lots for, that I can maybe upload more than once a week. But I think for me, in order for me to be consistent and for me to feel like I've been consistent, I'm sticking to the Sunday at 4 o'clock. And then my last goal, which isn't really reading but is related again, is just to develop my Bookstagram content. I do have a Bookstagram. I do try and on a Monday upload kind of how I'm doing with my like monthly TBR, and I have like a little graphic that I upload each Monday, and on a Sunday I'll upload the picture or the thumbnail for the video that's going out. But during the week is sometimes a little bit, in all honesty, a bit lackluster, and just throwing a few things on there just to kind of get content on there. But I really, really want to kind of take some time this year and really find my niche with my Bookstagram and see how I can develop that. Maybe that not being uploads every day, which is what I've been trying to do, but maybe a few times a week. So yeah, those are my reading goals for 2025. I'm just hoping for another good reading year and to continue to develop that love for reading and that passion. It's time for the official December book haul. Now, slight disclaimer, I did get most of these books from a charity shop. Any stickers on there will be removed when I read them, and you don't have to own all these books to be a reader. I really enjoy reading on my Kindle as well, so I do tend to get a lot of enjoyment out of that. However, when I go into a charity shop and I see such good deals, I don't want to not pick them up. Also, just while I've got it here, the best thing that I bought in December, before I go into the actual books, was, I'm back home at the moment, so I don't have my tripod with me. So you guys are currently on like a Kindle stand. You know, the ones which you clip onto something and then you read them. And then I also got one of those little clickers with the remote, so I can just sit in bed and like turn the pages. Best money I've spent all of December, because it is just incredible. It makes reading feel so luxurious. But yeah, time for the book haul. I don't think you guys are ready for the book haul that I've got. Like I say, some of them were charity shop, some of them were bought in Waterstones on a deal, some of them for Christmas. Ooh. This bag is full. It is full. of books. There is nothing else in here because I did my Goodreads and that yesterday. I whittled it all down. So let's go. The first thing I got was the Naturals collection. So I've got all 4 books, and when looking yesterday, adding it all to my Goodreads, because again, with my Goodreads being really particular, I like to add the books by the page number, not necessarily the covers. So if you ever go on my Goodreads and you see that the covers are slightly different, it's because I go by the page number, not by the colour, by the cover. So I got all 4 books in the Natural series. Also in the Bad Blood book, I have the novella, the 12 novella. It's called 12. So that's great. So yeah, those 4. I'm going to try and get them out in sections. Then I got Get a Life, Chloe Brown. The Match by Sarah Adams. I actually got this one for my friend for Christmas. Turned up to her house. I created this really cutesy little blind date with a book myself because I know what she's like. She's got quite a few books and I know what her book taste is. So I was like, if I make it myself, I'll get her a really good book. Turned up to her house after being away for so long, and she's read it. So bought her a new book and took this one for myself, which I think's a win. Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. The Third Wife by Lisa Jewell. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Gerald. Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. Sorry if you can hear the fireworks going off in the background. Like I said, it's the 31st of December, so people are starting New Year's early. It is not New Year's. It is 7:30. Then I got The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I didn't realise, so I've seen the, you know, the cover, it's like the hardback cover, the black one with all the leaves on it. I've seen that all over Bookstagram, BookTok, BookTube. Did think it sounded interesting. I was like, I would be quite intrigued to pick that one up. Picked this one up in the charity shop the other week, and then came home and was putting it on Goodreads, realised it was the same book, and I thought that was an absolute win. And I prefer this cover, so what a win. The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary, and You Me Forever by Jo Watson. Then next pile we've got How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. A Man Called Ovi by Frederick Blackman. Really excited to get into some of his writing. Sarah Caroli has convinced me fully, wholeheartedly to start reading his books, and so it's her influence. 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty. My best friend actually gave me this book. She's read it. She's not really a reader. It's not my best friend that's a reader. This friend's not really a reader, and she's read it and she said it was good. Do you guys want it? So I snapped that from her. Only for Christmas. I got for a Christmas present. Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say Only for Christmas is by Tracy Corbett. I guess, I mean, I've got that Christmas book and another Christmas book, and unfortunately they are going to have to stay on my TBR until December because I just can't cope. I can't read a Christmas book in the middle of the year. I've got Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. This will technically be a reread. I read this when I was in school, never finished it, but I did find it really intriguing, so I thought if I see it in like a charity shop or somewhere where I can pick it up, I will do. I've got Divine Bibles by Rebecca Ross. Loveless by Alice Osman. Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. The last book in the Twilight series. The last book I need to read for the Twilight series. I just want to get it done now. I then got Shiver by Ali Reynolds. Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. Elizabeth is Missing by Emma Healy. Nick and Charlie by Alice Osman, and Radio Silence by Alice Osman. I have read the Heartstopper, the 5 books in the Heartstopper series, so I'm really looking forward to kind of going in those and seeing the other characters as well. And then the last little stack, I got Watching You by Lisa Jewell, The Fury by Alex McLeod, something like that, I can never say his name. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Persuasion by Jane Austen, which I'm really excited. This one and The Great Gatsby I picked up because I've never read a classic, and so those 2 books I'm really excited to get into. And the last one is One Christmas Eve by Shari Lowe. On these 2 or now 3 piles, I've got 32 books, so adding them to the TBR is just amazing. It just makes me feel so good, and yeah, I'm really excited for this year and to start reading some of these. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Like I say, for me, this is kind of the last clip I'm filming for now. However, I know you guys have got a few more clips to come, and then the next clip you will see me in my kind of chronological order will be putting these on my TBR cart when I get back to Liverpool, which A, I'm really excited to put them on my TBR cart, and B, I'm very excited to get back to Liverpool and kind of get back to my routine in my life, because being home's great, but I do miss my little bubble up there in my flat. So yeah, hope you enjoy the video. In this next clip, you're going to see me updating my Goodreads, and so you'll see all the books that you would have just seen in the haul being uploaded onto my Goodreads and just getting everything ready to go. So my Goodreads is very meticulously set out, and I like having it that way. It's got all the books that I own physically, all the books that I've got on my Kindle, whether that's in my Kindle library or books that I want to read that are really like high up my priority list on my radar, but I can get them from KU, so or Kindle Unlimited, so I don't have to worry about that. And then on there as well, I have like a little section of the books that I want to buy, because sometimes I'm like having it. For example, I've read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but I really want to buy Daisy Jones and the Six before reading Malibu Rising, so they're kind of the ones that go on there. So books that I'm either really highly anticipating or just books that are like in the middle of series. So I'll pass you on to the clip where you can see me updating my Goodreads. I'm sorry for all these like little transitioning videos, but like I say, I did kind of a lot of prep work yesterday for this video, and I got a microphone for Christmas, which you'll see I'm not wearing because I can't seem to figure out how to work it, and I just needed to get these clips filmed. So the next thing that I did, so I've updated my Goodreads. I needed to translate that onto like the spinners that I use. So I've used them before in videos where the wheel determines what I read, or sometimes if I'm finishing series I'm in the middle of, I'll use like my series spinner. And so I just wanted to make sure that was up to date for when I go to use them in the videos, because I didn't want to have to get to decide that I want to do it. Or sometimes I'm just really indecisive and I'm like, actually I just want to like spin the wheel and go, yeah, that's going to be my read. So I didn't want to get to that point and then go, actually half my TBR's not on that wheel, and just make sure it was all up to date, ready for the new year. So I'll pass you on to the clip of doing that. Last pre-filmed clip for you is me updating my series that I'm in the middle of tracker. So as I've already said, I'm in the middle of 40 series, so I had to just kind of reflect that onto my Goodreads. There was a few series which I just needed to update little bits on, or just include them in there, and so I'll pass you on to the clip now, and where you'll see me doing that. Literally 24 hours since I last filmed the last clips. We are in the same spot. I look slightly different because I didn't want to wear the same hoodie again, but I do have a couple of updates to update you on, just on this reset vlog. Now, I went out for lunch today with my best friend, and she sat there and she was like, oh, I've upped my reading goal this year, and so I need to get some books for my TBR. Can we go to the Works? Well, who am I to say no? Which, if you're not UK based, the Works is a relatively cheap bookstore for us, and when I was in there, again, can't say no to buying books, so I picked up 2 new books. I got Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood, which I've heard really mixed reviews about, and it's more of an adult romance than some of her STEM romances, so I'm really excited for that. And Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which, slight spoiler, is one of my 25 in 2025, so I needed to pick it up, and I thought while it's there, and it's got these sprayed edges, which I'm really sorry to break it to you, but I really don't like sprayed edges. I don't know what it is, but I think it's just the fact that I feel like I'm going to ruin the sprayed edges by touching it. So yeah, not a massive fan of sprayed edges. I did look, but they didn't have a copy without the sprayed edges on. So yeah, so that's my book haul updates to add along with the however many I got yesterday. But I also wanted to update you just quickly on like the book I'm reading, because this vlog is very much a reset vlog of what I'm getting up to. I just thought I'd touch in about what book I'm reading. So I'm currently reading After Ever Happy by Anna Todd. I'm reading it on my Kindle, so I have it because it's on Kindle Unlimited at the moment. This is actually book number 4 in the After series by Anna Todd, originally published on Wattpad, so it's very Wattpad writing. If you're not a fan of Wattpaddy writing, that's maybe a series to steer clear of. I'm absolutely loving it. Harden and Tessa are just my all-time favourite couple. He is my favourite like book boyfriend, yet these books are full of twists and turns in the sense that you don't like, their behaviour is so irrational. I find it's a really easy read. It's quite spicy. It's a romance. It's not necessarily dark romance, but it's quite spicy. It's got some heavy terms, including like alcoholism and drug use. So if those are things that might trigger you, maybe steer clear from it. But can't tell you too much about this book, but I'm currently 7% through. So I've only just really started it. It's quite a big book. It's not as big, if you've seen my other videos, it's not as big as the other 2 books in the series. So book 1's quite small. Book 2 and 3 are chunky books, but it reads so easy. And actually the other 2 books, the chunky books, I had on audiobook, and so I listened to them, but finding that it's on Kindle is amazing for me, especially now that I'm back home and I don't actually have any of my January TBR with me. I can get started on this and then be reunited with my books hopefully at the beginning of next week, and we can update my TBR cart. So yeah, this should hopefully be the last the last time you're seeing this room in this video, unless I've got any other little bits that I want to update you on, or things that I'm doing to chat. I will get back to you when I'm rearranging my TBR cart. Hey guys, as you can see, I am now back in Liverpool, which means it's time for the final part of this video. I will try and update with my final thoughts on After Ever Happy once I finished it. However, I have had a slow reading start to the year, which is not great when I've just upped my reading goal quite significantly. So I'm hoping to finish that within the next couple of days. Being back at uni, having a bit more free time should hopefully help. But yeah, so time to update the TBR cart, and then I will get back to you in a final clip just summarising the book for you. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little time lapse of me updating the TBR cart for you. Okay, you've just seen me update my TBR cart. I have a lot of books now. I have the whole front is completely full. Then you've got the top 2 shelves are mostly full. I've got my little TBR pops there as well. And then that's where my standalones or the next book in the series stops. And then down the bottom in this shelf is like the next books in the series. So before Christmas I managed to get it down so that I could have them all just on the front, all facing me, including the series books. So I'd have the series books in the front as well, so they were all together. However, I've now got too many. I've got 81 books on my physical TBR, and then you would have seen me pull a stack off as well, and this stack is my January TBR. So my January TBR I better read because I cannot get it back on the shelf. So hopefully I'm going to have a good few reading months and I can get this down. I think books like The Naturals, that whole series, I'm going to really enjoy and hopefully will speed through. I really want to get to most of these books as well. I've said multiple times that John Grisham actually is a author that's kind of teetering on the line as to whether I'm going to continue to read him, so I'm going to try his book this month, and then I might get rid of those too. The Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer, that's quite a chunky book, so hopefully I'll get to that one quite quickly and get that one off my TBR. And I've got a few thrillers on there as well, so generally I go through those quite quickly. So I'm hoping to get them down. If there's any books that you see that you really want me to read, leave a comment down below and hopefully I'll include those in videos soon. I have finally finished After Ever Happy. It's finished. It's done. I feel so good to say that. I'm sorry if you can hear my air fryer in the background. It is dinner time. I have not filmed this clip yet and I need to get it filmed so I can edit the end of the video and get it up for you guys. But I finally finished it. I, in my head, keep telling myself that this is the end of the series and then remember that there's actually a prequel called Before. So I need to get that one done and then this will be a series ticked off. But I actually really enjoyed this book a lot more than the previous other book. This is kind of the end of Harden and Tessa's journey. The Before book follows just Harden and kind of his life before he met Tessa, during the moments of meeting Tessa, and then what happens after. And I'm guessing some of the story through like his point of view. This is kind of the last book in Tessa and Harden's journey and you see where they end up. And I loved this book. I struggled through the last couple of books and I think it's just purely the length. This book is not as bad. It is 501 pages, 500 pages, 501 on my Kindle. I thought that was reasonable. It is quite long for a romance book still. However, if you get in with these characters, you know what I mean. Like you just get hooked. And I was actually reading some Goodreads reviews after finishing it, after I've written my little review up. And a lot of people have said the same sort of thing. They're saying the books aren't great, the writing isn't amazing, but something Anna Todd does is she just writes these characters that you get hooked into, and once you start their story, you need to know how it finishes. This book does touch on infertility, and I did write up in my review how I really liked how Anna Todd used that continuing on in the story and didn't just use it as a beginning plot point. But yeah, I really liked this story. I liked how it ended up and wrapped up nicely. I gave this one 4 stars in the end. It was everything it needed to be to make it a good book. It didn't give me the 5-star feels. It was slightly too long for me to even consider giving it 5 stars. However, in terms of the ending of their story, it was everything it needed to be, and I think slightly more, and just seeing some of the side characters well, being happy and having that happy life, and just seeing the end kind of all their stories was really good and really interesting. But I did see on Audible, I think, that Landon, who is Harden's stepbrother in the books, has his own story, because in the end of this book there's a big life event for Landon. If you've read it, you'll know exactly what I mean, which involves someone else, but they never mention who it was by name, so you don't actually know the full extent to his story. So I found that really interesting, and I think that is definitely going to be a book that I will pick up. However, it's not one that I'm going to rush out and pick up. Okay, that's the end of the video now. I hope you enjoyed this different style video for me. It wasn't a reading vlog and it wasn't kind of a TBR or a wrap up, but I did really enjoy kind of resetting for the year and getting things ready. As you'll have seen from the clip of me reading after, I got some great Christmas presents this year. I got a walking pad, and then I bought myself one of those little Kindle clickers, which has absolutely been a life changer, and to be able to walk on the walking pad with the clicker is just incredible. So had Ellen Catherine on in the background and I was watching her video, and yeah, just really such a small thing, made me romanticize my life so much, walking for an hour on that walking pad. However, did learn that I should probably wear shoes with it because now I've got a blister on my foot, so that's not fun. But did really enjoy this video. I'm sorry I didn't get to show you my filling out my tracker for the year. I just haven't got around to doing it yet. However, I have a reading vlog that I'm literally, as soon as I end this one, I'm about to get started and get jumped into. And so I will make sure that that is included in there, and we will update the series tracker and we'll see how we're getting on with everything. And you'll see that I've actually updated the series tracker as well because I've added a few things on, just more for me, but I'll show you guys that in the next video. So I hope you've had a wonderful week and a really good start to the new year. I do find it a little bit unsettling that it's currently the 8th of January and I've read one book, which I know for a lot of people that's amazing. However, for me, I feel like I'm behind, which is not good because I set myself a big goal of reading 100 books this year, and we've got 22 more days of January, 22, 23 more days of January, and I've only read one book, so it's fine, we'll get there. And for the next video I need to read 3 books and that goes out next weekend, so back to my reading needs to happen this week. But thank you so much for watching, thank you for listening to all my videos. I hope you have had a great start to 2025 and look forward to the videos coming your way soon. Thank you.